Good day, good afternoon, maybe good morning, depending on where you're at, or good evening, because I know we got some international viewers. Pelicans Daily presented by Fan Arts. I'm your host, Dylan Bruton. Make sure to like, to share, to subscribe. Support is free. The numbers are going up. I see we've officially crossed like the 1,050 mark. So, hey, piece by piece, step by step. But I appreciate all the love and support. It's only going up from here. Um, First off, before I do anything, I want to say rest in peace to the legendary Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, one of the greatest rock stars of all time. You know what I'm saying? God love Black Sabbath is one of my favorite rock bands from the '70s. So I'm gonna definitely be bumping some Black Sabbath later today. R.I.P. to a legend. Wanted to say that. Then wanted to give another shout out. I wanted to give a direct shout out to my guy Chris Lambert. So hey, you know what they say about when you speak of something a lot, it eventually manifests. Y'all have heard me talk about Chris Lambert like I know him, like we you know what I'm saying, like we came up together or something. So last night, when I went to sleep, he followed me, and this morning he reached out, and it was nothing but love, and he was like, "Yeah, I got sent some of your videos, came across your stuff, and I love it." And he was like, and I told him, I was like, "Hey, man, I know I'll be giving you a little bit of a hard time, but it's all love, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for the way that you write." And he was like, "No, I really appreciate that." He was like, "I would love to collab on something." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So stay tuned. But I told y'all, me and Chris gonna be locked in, and I didn't even realize bro is a year. He's about to graduate college. And the way he writes, I mean, I'm gonna give him his flowers. He writes like a older man, and that's not me saying that in a derogatory way. It's like, no, you write as a young man who has a lot of wisdom, who has a lot of knowledge and insight. And that's, as an old soul myself, that's something that I respect, I resonate with, and I can recognize in other people. So yeah, man, Chris is a real cool dude, and eventually we gonna meet up. I'm gonna make it happen. And whenever it does, y'all gonna know. Y'all definitely gonna know. But shout out to him, because it's like, look, I've gone hard on him before, but I always supplement it with, but hey, I respect the craft, I respect the work, and I respect the genuineness in what you're doing. Even if I don't always agree with your perspectives. But as a man, you're not always gonna agree with another man. But you can still, hey man, we can agree to disagree, but I still respect you. Two things are possible. One can walk and chew gum in that way. But anyway, perfect segue to a very not negative, but an article that didn't necessarily frame us in the greatest of light. There's an article that CBS Sports did through Sam Quinn, and we were ranked. Our front office was ranked 30th out of 30th, and this is a massive drop. As back in February when President Griffin was running things and in the helm, we were ranked 13th. So a lot of questions are being asked on why. Well, we've not had the most under the radar off season. You know what I'm saying? We've not necessarily gone without scrutiny. But here's what I'm gonna say to all that. Because should we be concerned? No. Let the people assume, project, fear, worry, do whatever. We know what we're doing. That's what matters most. You know what I'm saying? I know last episode there was a brother who said we didn't have an identity. I don't agree with that, right? We're building a brand. When you look at the way this team is being built, we're being built to be a hyper defensive and athletic team, and a team with size, both in the wings and with the bigs. So overall, okay, like I was reading through it, and shout out to Sam Quinn. But I'm like, some of these teams I would not rank this high when looking really at their roster. And Chris even was like, look, me personally, I got President Dumars and Troy Weaver in the um got him in the mid 20s ranking, which I'm gonna be a little nicer. I'm gonna put us in like the 15 to 20th range, which again still is, we still got work to do. But when looking and examining some of these other team situations, a lot of teams are in purgatory, and they either know it or they don't know it. We are not. we have work to do. We've got to see how things play out, but we are actually building momentum towards something. That's why we're taking the chances that we are, right? That's why we're not settling for just the average old situation. This is not the same Pelicans team of yesteryear, as I constantly say. So, hey, appreciate the motivation. That's how I look at it. I appreciate all the detractions. I appreciate all the kind of being told what we can and can't do. But when push comes to shove, when the season comes, watch out. We're gonna do something special. We're gonna do something amazing. Cause it's a pool party, hey, it's a parade in my city, yeah. Shout out to young boy. But it's gonna be a pool party. It's gonna be a pool party. So another article that Chris did, cause he kind of referenced it, but he did one about like three players that we correctly gave up on. And it was AJ Little, who we drafted in the second round a couple years ago, who was in the DeJounte and Dyson Daniels trade. And actually, real quick, before I go on this, he brought up DeJounte Murray, because I didn't bring this up, but DeJounte Murray had said on the pivot, shout out to RC, Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder, great group of brothers. I know people who have worked with them, and especially with Ryan, and they all speak, the world of Ryan. And he's a stand-up brother, nothing but love for him. I can't wait to one day meet him. I know me and him are going to one day chop it up. Manifesting that. But I know it'll happen just because of some of the associations and circles that we have. But DeJounte did an interview recently where he talked about, his experience last year in New Orleans with the previous regime, and just how unsupportive they were during his injury, and unsupportive during the death of his mother and the death of some of his other close friends. And I just want to say first to DeJounte, like, you my guy, and I'm sorry to hear that was the case. I'm sorry to hear that, because that's inexcusable and irrehensible. And I wholeheartedly believe that with the kind of character of President Dumars, forget anything basketball related, but the kind of character, right? There's a reason why President Dumars is respected in every NBA circle, from young to old. And going back to his playing days, I wholeheartedly believe that President Dumars definitely took DeJounte aside and was like, look, man, what happened last year will never happen again. If anything happens, God forbid, God willing, that is bad, we got you. We in your corner 10 toes. It's so different when you have a player, right? And there's a lot of similarities in upbringing, right? Of where DeJounte came from in Seattle and where Joe came from in Shreveport, and then just as players, as two-way guys that, could get a bucket and lock the best player down. I'm sure that combos have been had. That's President Dumars is that kind of guy. There's never been any talk from any of the Detroit players from back in the day. Even Darko. You never heard Darko get on a podcast and diss President Dumars. So it's always positive with President Dumars in terms of, the character, the approach, the professionalism. So I got full belief. But yeah. So anyway, AJ Liddell, who was in the trade for us to get DeJounte, and then this one hurt, but Tyreke Evans, which I was like, oh man. Now Tyreke, I wanted to work out with us so bad. I was going crazy with him on 2K. And that 09 class is, to me, still the greatest point guard class of all time. You know what I'm saying? Tyreke, Steph, Ricky Rubio, Johnny Flynn. I was a huge Johnny Flynn fan in college. Unfortunately, he had the back injury. He was never the same after that, of his rookie year. Brandon Jennings, Eric Maynard, Ty Lawson. If I didn't say Steph, obviously Steph was the crown jewel of it. I mean, that class was loaded. Roderick Beaubois, that was a guy that I loved. I wish Dallas had actually really built and invested in them. But it was tough. It was tough. And this is my opinion. I'm gonna just say it, not spray it. But I don't believe that either him or OJ Mayo should be banned from the NBA. There's a lot of questionable individuals in some of these professional sports circles. And you mean to tell me that some of these other dudes can get contracts with the things on the names, but Tyreke and OJ can't? I'm not buying it. And it just goes to show there is an unjust and unequal scale of punishment. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for accountability, but it has to be true accountability. It has to be genuine. It can't just be uh, self-righteous morality that isn't actually exhibited and practiced on a wide scale. Because that's just hypocrisy. That's just holier than thou hypocrisy. And there's a lot of people like that in this country and just in general. And I'm you don't want to get around me because I'm not the one. Not the two and not the one. I damn sure ain't the one, okay? Y'all definitely heard of that phrase before. Um, so yeah, so it was, and Chris, even Chris was like, "Look, man, I love Tyreek too." It's like, yo, Tyreek was special. That rookie year was special. I remember, man, 25 and 5. Only five or six other rookies have done that in NBA history. The last person who had did that before Tyreek was LeBron James. So yeah, but he included this recent trade with Jordan Poole and CJ McCollum. And he spoke very highly of CJ. Like when CJ came over in 2022, he added a jolt. He was a big part of us making a playoff run. He brought a veteran leadership and a poise that we did not have, and a high level shot maker. And I always bring up CJ in high regard of, look, man, you broke my heart versus Duke, and I had to respect it. I had to, because not saying that Duke team was that actually wasn't one of our best teams, but needless to say, right? You went and proved yourself. You went and did it, even though no one was expecting that. People ain't really know you like that. Now I knew who CJ McCullough was because I would every year. I'm not as invested in college ball. I mean, I was this past year, but I every year would get the like the magazines, and I would read over the rosters, and I would look over the top guys, look over the like most NBA ready players, and I would keep it. I'd make a mental note of like, okay, this guy, I would like to see. I would like to see where he ends up. I'd like to see what he ends up doing. And CJ was a name that I remember because that was his class was that was Anthony Bennett, that was Nerlens Noel, Victor Oladipo, Alex Len, Cody Zeller. I mean, a lot of outside of Oladipo, that class a little. But you know what I'm saying, to that earlier point about the front office, right? I'm sure there was people writing about the Bucks and why would they pick up this Giannis Antetokounmpo guy? Da da da. And look at Giannis Antetokounmpo now. Okay, hindsight is 2020. But we made a great pickup in CJ. We did, but his best years are behind him. It just got to be said. And if it isn't, prove me wrong. I love to be proven wrong. But age is a number. You know, rest in peace to Aaliyah, to baby girl. But age is a number. Age ain't no. Age is a number. It matters. People are going to be, judged on their peak and their prime versus their fall off versus when they've hit their ceiling. And with CJ, it feels like he's hit his ceiling. Okay, he could prove me wrong this year in Washington. They need veteran leadership. So, oh yeah, I need to fix that light for next video. But overall, but with Jordan Poole, he's got still so much potential. He bounced back from a tough first year, and he went and had his best year. I'm not in the mindset of that he peaked in Golden State in 2022. I'm not. There's no way he could. He's my age. Again, like me and Jordan Poole are the same exact high school graduating year, 2017. I know, like I really know some people who know him too and came up with him. So I'm a little biased, but Jay Poole, that dude. And I think he's going to come in and do great for us, especially while Jeremiah Fears gets his feet ready, gets his feet under him, while DeJounte is healing, and while, we still got Jose. But we all know Jose's limitations. We know his ceiling. So I think that leaves the room open for Jordan Poole to go in and dominate and do his thing. And, a couple of y'all think Jordan Poole could be an all-star this year. I'm not opposed to it. I would love it. Bring the pool party to the all-star game. So, hey, that's all I'm going to say on that. But I'm with Chris on the fact that I do believe that we won this trade wholeheartedly. Look, man, ain't nothing like confirmation, man. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Because another Pelicans exec confirmed that Zion is very much still our guy. During the summer league, and shout out to Clutch Points. I used to write for them. If you want to ever go look up my writing, look up Dylan Bruton. Look up Clutch Points. I'm not much of a tech guy. I'm a poet. You know what I'm saying? I'm a wordsmith. But if you look up the two dashes and you look up Dylan Bruton, Dylan Bruton, you can check out my articles. But yeah, Kevin Smith went to Las Vegas at the Summer League and he spoke with various coaches and execs, including some of our guys. And one of the, obviously everyone wants to know about Zion. Not just for us, but for other teams. They're all curious. I saw an article today about should Zion and should the Lakers explore a trade to get Zion to bring with Luka. And I'm like, yeah, on 2K, that's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen at all. Dallas, that was a very rare and extreme situation, but that's not happening in real life. Sorry, not sorry. But Kevin Smith said. Zion, the Pelicans exec who remained unnameless, but Zion is still our guy. If he wasn't, we would have waived him for nothing, like nothing on the books. We could have reset everything, but we believe in Zion. He wants to make it well. He wants to make it work, and so do we. This partnership hasn't even come close to reaching reaching. My handwriting leaves a lot to be desired. As much as I do have a journalism degree, my actual penmanship is a little but basically, yeah, reaching our best yet. So basically, right, as I've been saying, if Zion was that much of a problem, we would have moved him. If Zion did not have the talent worthy of sticking by and defending, we would have moved him. That's not the case here, though. Guys ain't putting up 25, 7, and 5 if they're busts. They're not. This whole notion that he is one, I'm like, y'all are drunk. And whatever it is that you're drinking, keep it away from me. I don't even want to be inebriated like that. I'm sorry. I'm not promoting anything either. He's a 2-time All-Star already, okay? Like, the young man is 25. Once he adds that mid-range to his game, the more he evolves his handles, it's over. It's over. The man scores like it's nothing. He's got the most 25-plus games on 60% shooting for a player 25 and younger, and it's not even close. It's not even close. Go look at the numbers. So, it's nice to have that confirmation. And it's nice to have it from the people actually in the organization as opposed to these armchair experts. And look, I'm in an armchair myself, so some could say, wait a minute, you're throwing stones from a glass home. But I've always come at it from the position of optimistic and looking at it as a player of like, look, once a guy's like 30 and on, then yeah, that's a whole different thing. Zion just turned 25. So, hey, I'm not going to speak my piece too much about Zion. Y'all have heard me. But I'm hyped. I'm excited. And I really wholeheartedly believe that this year, Zion is a dark horse MVP candidate. Not too crazy to say. Anyway, on to my favorite part of the video, responding to y'all. And I just want y'all to know this video has taken multiple takes because, again, this computer, I need to go get it looked at. Apple, you think you slick. You want to mess up and act all buggy and all that. Anytime a new computer is coming around, I am not moved. Good try, though. But first, Bird Talks. I read something about Charles Bassey on this team, and I like it. Plus, he works out in the Pelicans on 2K. Bird Talks. First off, love the Avi, by the way. That joint goes hard. And second, he really would go hard. He really would do well. He really would be somebody that would fit. We need bigs that can crash the glass. I don't care about damn near nothing else unless we have our front court together. Because make no mistake, you can still win with a strong front court. OKC proved that. Indy just proved that. Indy proved that in getting to the finals. OKC proved that in winning it all. So I'm all for it as well. And hey, if he works out on 2K, even better. I have a Pelicans friend. I have a Pelicans my era team on franchise mode or my GM. I'm getting old. But regardless of what it's called, I got one too. I did sign Chris Paul, so I was a little sick when I saw them go back to the Clippers. Next comment. This one is longer, but I'm gonna respond to it because I appreciate you putting the time into writing this. David Weimer, 8244. A player should have irrational confidence. Athletes should 100% believe they're the best and work hard to prove it. A GM needs to be cold-blooded and properly assess the roster, talent, fit as well as cost. They also need to be flexible and very realistic about the team's ceiling today and the future. Realistically, we are a 30 and 35 win team this season. Ooh, a little harsh, but okay, I'm hearing you. We don't have the developed talent to win this year in the West. We also are starting out with guys injured or still rehabbing injuries going to the training camp. From a skill perspective, we lack shooting, perimeter defensive depth, and rim protection. The West has gotten significantly better, and our centers are some of the smallest in the West. Fears and Queens have potential to eventually be very good, but it will take multiple seasons to develop. It's not about being irrationally confident about the team. It's an understanding we're going to have a tough year, and we need to develop Fears and Queens to go alongside Trey and Herb for future seasons. Well, David, I hear you, and I appreciate the thought and the time that you put into that response. I do disagree on our win total. I think that is an ultimate floor. Like, at least it's like at least we won more than 21 games. But this team, yes, the West has gotten better, but the West is still going to have to figure itself out too. Like, this last NBA Finals was very interesting because this current NBA right now, there's a lot of opening for who is going to be these other dominant teams that step up. There's a lot of question. And because there's a lot of question, because there's a lot of concern or speculation, that provides us breathing room to step in and do something. Now, in terms of some of the other things you were talking about in terms of like perimeter defensive depth, rim protection, shooting, these are all things I agree with that they have to improve. And, with guys being injured, that does put a wrench into something. So all I'm going to say is while I don't wholeheartedly, I don't agree with everything, I hear you and I receive your perspective, and I think that 30 to 35 wins is the ultimate floor. But the ultimate ceiling, I got us going 47, 48, 51, 52 games. 53 maybe pushing. But that's if everyone, once they come back, stays healthy and continues to play at a high level. So things just have to be in order. Demetrius Irving, 2953. Pelicans cannot afford to get another development center. We need a vet. And my guy, Christopher Church, 2653, said, we have one in Looney. Exactly. We got Kevon Looney as well, who I've not talked about as much versus Jordan Poole, but still. Great big, great versatile veteran big, great rebounder, great locker room guy, and, another big body in the paint. We needed that. So I'm with that. The original Don Guillory, my guy, the OG, nothing serious. Left hand, eat ready for the season. Hey, 100%. I believe that Derek Queen is going to come back stronger and better, so I ain't worried either. Michael, now this comment actually had me dying. McNamara, 3730. Dressing much better. Dressing, you just feel like, man, I've got some fly fits on here, but it's teach his own. You know what I'm saying? It's all subjective. Hey, all I'm going to say is I get compliments when I go out, so that's all that matters. And from the ladies, most importantly. So, hey. Anyway, that aside, lighting is better. Thank you. I got to deal with this, but it's just bright. I'm in Las Vegas. It's Sin City. It's hot. It's hot as hell out here. Seriously. Title's still clickbait. I have no control of the title, so I apologize, but hey, that's too funny. But I guess we can't improve everything at once, right? Michael, I've never seen you comment on my videos before, but oh, never mind. You have actually. Never mind. You have. Yeah, you don't like the clickbait title. I'm not in control of those, so I guess I could take that up with my peoples, but I'm not in control of that. But Michael, I nevertheless appreciate it, and I I enjoy the perspective. So it's all love. I'm gonna respond to 2 more comments. Christopher Church, my guy, 2653. Luckily, everyone in the division can make the playoffs. I'm actually getting really excited for Poole and possibilities. Poole, Herb, Zion, Trey, Eves, Carlo, Looney. Sorry for my negative Eric Gordon comment. Also, I think Carlos should get a legit shot to start. We are in a talented division, make no mistake. But I do believe that if everything goes as planned and well, we can make a playoff push. It's not out the possibility. It's not out the realm of anything. We weren't projected to go to the playoffs back in 23-24. People forget that. We were not projected, but we did. So it's possible. And as far as Carlo, yeah, I think, look, if Carlo goes out there and balls, by all means, you play well, you deserve to be rewarded. And then the last, and yet, yes, they did have Kobe at 11th. Yes, much to my dismay and much to my disgust. I got a lot of love for Bleacher Report. I know some great people who work there, but wasn't rocking with that one. Real hoop heads know. That's disrespectful. Like I said, to me, it goes Mike, Kobe, LeBron. Any variation of them 3 at the top, cool. But Kobe out the top 5, crazy. Blasphemy. And the last comment, my guy, brother, last 2. Glenn Henderson, 8714. It's kind of the same thing. He said, good show with the hoop emoji. Much love. Right back to you, Glenn. Appreciate you. And brother Jan, keep up the great work, bro. Do you know of any players that returned prior to 12 weeks from a wrist injury? Brother Jan, as always, much love. Day one guy, day one supporter. So thank you. I will. Keep up the great work, indeed. And not in particular off the top of my head, but I know speaking of, I know Kobe played through multiple injuries with his wrist, even when in the 2010 finals, and he had his finger and his wrist was messed up. And that's just a testament to his greatness, the fact that he was able to go out and get a victory, get the finals MVP, all that. So that's why I can't agree with how he's being ranked, and I don't rock with it. But with Derek Queen, nothing's out the possibility, right? He's a hardworking young man who's got a chip on his shoulder. One thing about those chips is that can be great motivation and fuel. So who knows? We'll see. But he might not be ready in 12 weeks, and I don't want him to rush it. Take your time, Derek. If you're watching this video, take your time. But you can still do cardio. You can still, run and do all that. But take your time when it comes to your wrist itself. So we'll see how it all plans out. But I'm very excited. This video has been glad to get this video up and out, and it'll be up and running at some point. Hopefully soon. Knock on wood. But much love, y'all. Continue to stay blessed. Continue to stay amazing. Like, share, subscribe, support Fan Arch, and look, we're only growing from here. We got an exciting season to look forward to, and we ain't even at training camp yet. So, hey, stay tuned, and stay tuned for some collaborations on here. You know what I'm saying? I know a couple of people with some of the other channels as well. So, who knows what will happen? But hey, the possibilities are endless. But y'all stay blessed and amazing, and have a great rest of your day.